Okay, welcome to my channel for let's start again. Welcome to my channel for confidence sake. It's just me. My name's Avigwe. I just like to talk about stuff, vlog stuff, just whatever comes to mind. And I came back from a really nice event today. It was a Christian brunch called Found. So I'll probably leave their Instagram below. It's really good for community. It's based in London. But anyways, my mum was like, you should film, like, you know, you're ready to film, just film something. And I've been talking about sitting down and talking for a minute. And if you're new here, which you may be, I just like to talk on whatever comes to mind. So as soon as my mum said that, like, what came to mind was navigating uncertainty, which I think is a huge thing. And I guess the reason why it came to mind is because that's exactly what I'm going through right now. I think in the world that we live in today, we can look around and feel like everyone's got their stuff figured out. Like, I've been seeing a lot of people talking about, I watched a video this morning actually about somebody who was saying like why it's good to continue YouTube even if no one's watching it. And I think the reason why she said that she struggled with her YouTube channel in the past was because she was thinking about fear mainly, which I think that's probably the biggest roadblock in uncertainty is fear. People are scared of the dark because they don't know what to expect there. Fear. And I think that's what it feels like when you're in an uncertain place. It literally feels like you are walking in a dark room and you don't know where the light's going to be and you don't know what the next room is going to look like. And in the past, it used to get me really worked up. I really wanted to control what I was going through. I really wanted to predict, to be able to plan. And when you're in a season, because people maybe talk about uncertainty, like the gap between jobs, but if you're anything like me, or you've ever experienced, which I think a lot of people have, we can underestimate how many people have experienced what we're going through. But back to that. If you're anything that you're in a season where you actually have no idea what's next, you could not basically tell your left from your right, it can be very nerve-wracking. It can be very overwhelming, especially for somebody who likes to plan, which most of us are. And I was talking about earlier about how, especially in this day and age, why we get confused. I think when you look in social media, you can see people who seem to have their stuff together. They seem to know, especially when the new year is coming around, people are like, what's your new year plan? What's your goal? And I've literally been in seasons where I can't even plan. Like these days, I don't plan heavily because what can I plan for? What can I guarantee? It doesn't seem like a lot when you're going through these seasons. So why I say navigating it, because navigating is obviously getting your way through something. How can you help yourself when you're in a season where it feels like you can't tell your left from your right? It feels like you're in the darkness. You can often feel alone in seasons like that as well. And honestly and truly, the only one thing I can scream about is God. Like, I was telling my friend earlier, like, I'm on the cusp of like a change and I don't know what's coming next. And I said, usually when I was in seasons like this, I would feel like I was saying to you earlier, worried, afraid, overwhelmed. And I was like, the only reason why I don't feel like that right now is because of God. Because I remember the God that I serve. I remember how big God is. And I was telling somebody my favorite verse, because I was at that Christian brunch earlier. One of my favorite verses right now is Ephesians 3:20. I might see if I can put it on screen if my editing skills are given like that. But it basically says, in paraphrasing it heavily, that God can do exceedingly and abundantly more than you could ever ask or wish or pray for. And I think that's the thing that should give you hope. I think it's kind of become taboo in our culture to speak about God. People don't want to hear it. It would be easier for many of you that I might be hearing this. Some of you might even clicked out when you saw God, or you heard me say God. It would be easier for me to say law of attraction. It would be easier for me to say manifest. people want to hear that more than they want to hear God, because when you're working with God, you're working with God's timing. And I think that's the thing. You know he'll come through. You know the God that you serve. You know he's brought you through this trial, that trial. And if you feel like he hasn't brought you through something, there's something in your life that you can say, I've seen God work for. That's the thing that we can struggle with is, okay, it's not on my effort. It's not on me planning. It's on me having a relationship with God. It's on me having a responsibility to continue to seek him, seek his presence, draw closer to him. And I promise you, you can start from somewhere. I think we overcomplicate our relationship with God. And if we saw it as like if you had a boyfriend or girlfriend and you would give them time, 2 minutes speaking to your boyfriend every day on the phone would not be enough. It wouldn't. That relationship probably wouldn't last that long. So we saw God like that and we were like, okay, no, this morning I need to speak to God. And then you might be at the point where like, how do I speak to God? I don't know what to say. Honesty, especially in uncertainty. I was telling somebody, like, often I might get into a phase, especially when I feel like I'm waiting on God, where I'm like, I actually don't want to pray. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, God knows what I'm going through. He can see all things. So like, why am I still waiting? But to jumpstart me speaking to God, there's 2 things that I can do. First thing, because it's the first thing on my mind, would be thanksgiving. There's a Bible verse that says open through the gates with the password thanksgiving, something like that. Again, paraphrasing. And because I find that when you give gratitude to God, especially in the season of uncertainty, and say, you know what, God, I don't know what you're bringing me through right now, but I'm grateful because I have food to eat. I have eyes that can see. I have hands that work. I have feet that can take me to places without, like just anything. Because when you're feeling uncertain, you're like, sometimes you can get down to a point where like you feel like nothing good's happening for you. But find something that is a blessing. You have a friend, you have a family member, you are alive, if nothing else. So that's one thing, gratitude. Second thing, if you feel like you can't commune with God, is being honest. Like, I will literally tell God, like, listen, I don't really want to talk to you right now. I don't actually want to pray like that. Like, I'm not happy. I'm not happy because I'm not seeing this happen in my life. And I think a lot of people, I say, like, we go to God as if how church has taught us to go to God, where it's like, Father, please come down right now. Please help me in this situation. And it's like, God, I feel like sometimes it's like, first of all, you don't speak to anyone else like that. So why are we speaking to God like that? When you feel uncertain in life, tell him, I need your direction. And what God's been doing to me recently, or what he's told me recently, is about praying without ceasing. And I think I got to a stage, like I said, where I didn't want to pray, because in my season of uncertainty, I said, God, help me. And I asked for wisdom. So I was like, okay, I've already prayed about this. So what more can I say? But it's like, no. Like, I was reading Bible plan. Again, I'll link it below because I can't remember it right now. And the 5th day was talking about the woman there was a story in the Bible of a woman or widow who was like asking the tax collector or somebody for help. And it was a parable. And guy was like, okay, fine, I'll just give her the help, because if not, she'll just keep on annoying me, sort of thing. And basically, and that person had no faith, but Jesus was saying in that time, God who like has favor and who has good character, he's more likely to help. If that person who didn't, like the tax collector or whatever, could help that woman, what will he do for you? As long as you ask, you will receive. So don't grow weary in your season of uncertainty. I know that's easier said than done, but through God, you're less likely to grow weary because you know who you serve. There's like sounds, I'm outside, clearly, but I can't control if there's a plane, if there's a policeman, I don't know. But yeah, so I didn't even know that this was going to go down this angle, because I never write notes. I just pray that God will lead me to speak about it. But that's the only truthful explanation I can give about how to navigate a season of uncertainty, is to seek God, and all other things will follow from that. So as long as you're grounded, I know sometimes it might feel like nothing is changing. It actually might feel like things are getting worse. But I was told by my mother, by my parents, my mum, dad, like, my mum said one time when I was going through a really down season, she said, in football, you only chase the person with the ball. Meaning that if you're in a situation where you feel like you're always being like tested and trials, and it means you have the ball, you have something. So don't give up. No matter how dark it seems, how bleak it seems, things will turn around for you. As long as you have breath, you have options, which I've heard as well. As long as you're alive, it means that there's still more to your story. And today in this brunch, and I listened to people talking about their testimonies with God, and it's like the things that are the most painful, that the seasons that you don't understand, God will turn it around and use it for his good, and to help others see his good. So I want to encourage you that if you feel like you have no idea where you're going, the good thing is that at least I know I serve a God who knows where I'm going, and you have the choice too as well. And truly believe that he loves you deeply. And that's another prayer. Like, we always hear that God loves us, but we don't even know what love is in this world. Like, you can literally pray to understand the love he has for you, and then that will show you, okay, no, I'm not out here by myself. I'm not alone in this season. He has plans for me. As long as I pray that his will be done, it will be done. He wants that for you. He said, the Bible says, I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and give you for like abundance, or give you a good life, something like that. Me and paraphrasing the Bible, but I'll get better with time. Yeah, that's it. This is I wasn't expecting to film this. My mum just said it, and I was like, you know what, let me just talk about uncertainty, because it's been something that used to really get me down. I used to really be depressed when I didn't know where I was going in life. I used to really think that God didn't care, and that I used to feel like the season was never going to end. And I'm a living testament that you will see the light. And right now I'm again in that season where it's like, I don't know how things are going to work out, but because I've seen the light before, and because I know who I serve, I know I'll see the light again. And I'll be like, that's why you took me through that. That's why I had to wait so long. I trust that. And I pray that you will trust that too. And I just want to thank you for watching this. If you come this far, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I love engaging with people. In general, I can really talk. I'm introverted, but I can really talk. So if you have any questions, you want to speak about anything, you just want to share anything in the comments, like, feel free. I will definitely respond to you. And I just pray that this video reaches whoever it's meant to. And wherever you are, I hope you have a great day, evening, night, whatever. I'll see you in the next video.